Honorable Justice Srimati B.V. Nagaratna, Judge of Supreme Court of India, Honorable Justice Sri Vibhu Bakru, Chief Justice of High Court of Karnataka, Honorable Justice Sri Jayant Banerjee, President of Karnataka Judicial Academy, Honorable Justice S.G. Pandit, President of Karnataka Mediation Center, Honorable High Court Judges of Southern Zone, Registrar General, High Court of Karnataka, Director, and other officers of Karnataka Judicial Academy, distinguished judicial officers, panelists, mediators, and every participant gathered here today, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this first regional conference on Justice for Women for South Zone. Firstly, I express my sincere gratitude to Honorable Chief Justice of India, Justice Suryakant, and Justice Srimati B.V. Nagaratna, with whose support the National Commission for Women, in collaboration with Supreme Court of India, is organizing a series of judges' conferences across the country and initiating this with our first regional conference in association with the High Court of Karnataka and the Karnataka Judicial Academy. Over the 1.5 days, we will be having important discussions about where we stand on providing justice to women. Seminars, workshops, consultation, and awareness campaigns are done by National Women Commission. The NCW regularly conducts seminars, workshops, consultations, conferences, and awareness campaigns across the country on issues concerning women's rights, gender equality, prevention of sexual harassment, cyber safety, digital ethics, and gender-sensitive portrayal of women. These programs engage students, youth, media, civil society, or educational institutes, and other stakeholders. Over the last 3 years, 2,200 such programs were conducted, reaching approximately 1.75 lakhs participants. The Commission conducts legal awareness and gender sensitization programs to educate women and the public about constitutional safeguards, statutory protections, bodily autonomy and consent, as well as legal remedies available under various laws, including the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act 2013, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023, Information Technology Act 2000, and other relevant legislations. The Campus Calling Initiative is also part of these efforts. Over the last 3 years, 1,000 such programs were conducted with approximately 1.10 lakhs participants. NCW periodically engages with representatives from the media and entertainment industry, digital platforms, academia, law enforcement agencies, and other experts to promote responsible content creation, gender-sensitive communication, and adherence to ethical standards that uphold the dignity and rights of women. 8 such consultations were conducted during the last 3 years with approximately 450 participants. The Commission conducts awareness programs on cyber safety, online harassment, cyber stalking, cyberbullying, and the misuse of digital platforms, promoting safer online spaces for women and encouraging the reporting of online abuse through appropriate legal and institutional mechanisms. Over the last 3 years, 41 such programs were conducted, reaching approximately 9,000 participants. As part of its digital empowerment efforts, NCW launches the Yashoda AI Literacy for Women program in May 2025. The initiative aims to equip women with AI literacy and enhance their digital inclusion with a focus on cybersecurity, digital privacy, and safe online practices. The NCW will continue to strengthen its awareness, sensitization, and capacity building initiatives in collaboration with concerned ministries, regulatory bodies, educational institutes, media organizations, digital platforms, and civil society organizations. NCRB report 2023 recorded 4,48,211 reported crime against women in 2023 at a rate of 66.2 per lakh female population. That is roughly 51 complaints every hour across the country. This tells us that the challenge is not limited to preventing crime. It is also concerned the quality of investigation, the effectiveness of prosecution, and the support available to a victim at every stage of the justice process. Compensation to the victim is another serious concern. Implementation of victim compensation scheme remains uneven across states. NALSA's own figures for 2024-25 shows only about 27,000 applications for victim compensation decided nationwide, while pending applications stood at over 14,000. I would also seek your attention towards a practice that continues to trouble the women victims, that is, attempts to settle or compromise cases even in heinous offenses, despite our courts have repeatedly made it clear that these are not compoundable offenses and victim cannot be persuaded or pressurized to withdraw. I would also like to share one recent example where one of the High Court held that grabbing a minor girl's breast and breaking the string of her pajama did not amount an attempt to rape in the matter at the stage of framing charges only. However, Honorable Supreme Court of India, by a welcome step, set aside this judgment and through National Judicial Academy constituted an expert committee headed by former Supreme Court Justice Aniruddha Bose, which submitted a report emphasizing on preventing use of terminologies to avoid secondary traumatization of the victims of sexual assault. Regarding safety of women in workplace, I would like to say that 12 years after the FOSH Act came into force, we must ask ourselves honestly why its implementation still falls short. Internal committees and local committees are still not constituted at many places, particularly outside government institutes and the unorganized sector. Even where committees were being constituted, many members have not received meaningful legal or procedural training. However, the Commission is continuously training the LCs and has done more than 160 trainings in this year only. The Family Court Act 1984 requires that every reasonable effort be made to help parties reconcile. Every family court should have counselors who are trained not only in mediation techniques, but also in recognizing when a marriage is unsafe to preserve. The Commission also, through an initiative, Tere Mere Sapne, has started around 60 premarital communication centers across 11 states. These centers help young couples discuss expectation, responsibilities, communication, and the practical foundation of a lasting marriage. As we look ahead, I would place the following suggestions before this distinguished gathering. Time-bound justice for crimes against women, a strict timeline for trials in rape, POCSO, domestic violence cases. There is a need to adopt standardized and time-bound protocols for the prompt payment of victim compensation. There is a need of gender-sensitive approach in judicial officers to deal women-related cases with empathy and to avoid repeated testimony and secondary victimization. Need to ensure dignity and confidentiality of survivors. DLSM must initiate sumoto interim compensation in heinous offenses. Marriage registrars may ensure that couples receive premarital counseling before registration. Capacity building for judges on emerging digital offenses. The National Commission for Women is ready to coordinate and support all the agencies for fulfilling all such needs of the women. Also, in cases involving significant questions concerning women's rights, safety and dignity, court may consider appointing the National Commission for Women as an amicus curiae. As I look around this room and see judges, mediators, and practitioners from across the southern states, I see much more than a conference. I see a shared commitment. My hope is simple. When you leave the academy, you carry back to your high courts, district courts, institutes, and legal services authorities not only notes from these sessions, but also a quiet and firm resolution to close the gap between what our laws promise and what women actually experience. I once again extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the honorable judges present here, Karnataka Judicial Academy, and to every panelist and participant who has made this conference possible. I offer my special thanks to Honorable Justice Nagaratna Madam and Justice Vibhu Bakru Sir for gracing this inauguration session. Thank you very much.